Well, in today's agenda, we will discuss about the general topics under cybersecurity analysis. Our first topic is log analysis, while second is vulnerability assessment. Question number 1. Security analyst identified the following suspicious entry on the host-based IDS logs or intrusion detection system. Here is a suspicious entry. So, which one of the following shell script should the analyst use to most accurately confirm if the activity is ongoing? Question number 2. While reviewing a web server log, a security analyst found the following line: image source, VB script, message box, then information or the quoted test. Which one of the following malicious activity was attempted? Question number 3. An analyst has received an intrusion prevention system event notification from the security information and event management system, stating an IP address which is known to be malicious has attempted to exploit a zero-day vulnerability on several web servers. The exploit contains the following snippet: a WP JSON try-side-on v2 get sets layout which equivalent with WP insert user, and the role is equivalent to administrator. So which one of the following control would work the best to mitigate the attack represented by this snippet? Question number 4 is about vulnerability assessment. A company has decided to expose several systems to the internet. The systems are currently available internally only. A security analyst is using subset of common vulnerability scoring system 3.1 exploitability metrics to prioritize the vulnerability that would be the most exploitable when the systems are exposed to the internet. The system and vulnerability are shown below. Welcome back, everybody. I am Aklidu and I'm delighted to have you join us today for another engaging learning experience. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 591 Lab. Today, we embark on a dedicated exploration into topics covered under CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst certification exam. Please don't forget to hit subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you are always in a loop for our upcoming sessions. Before directly jumping into our discussion, let me take a moment to give you a quick overview of what 591 Lab is all about. 591 Lab, pronounced as 591 Lab, is the top IT training and certification exam brand in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore. Our mission at 591 Lab is to provide our clients with exceptional exam preparation experience for certification in Cisco, CompTIA, Aruba, Juniper, Palo Alto, and Fortinet exam tracks. Before directly proceed to our discussion, let me discuss about CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst. The CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst, or CYSA, this is an internationally recognized certification that validates a cybersecurity professional's ability to detect, analyze, and respond to cyber security threats. It focuses on practical skill, especially on knowledge that are required to perform continuous security monitoring and incident response activities. So this CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst CYSA covers 5 main domains like threat detection and analysis, security monitoring and incident response, vulnerability management, security control and technologies, and at last there is security procedures and policies. In our today's agenda, we will discuss about the general topics under cybersecurity analysis. Our first topic is log analysis, while second is vulnerability assessment. Initially, we have to determine the difference between log analysis and vulnerability assessment. So what is log analysis? Log analysis is the process of reviewing, interpreting, and understanding computer-generated records that are commonly known to be logs. These logs are essentially the digital footprint of every action that takes place in any system, network, or application. So they can contain valuable information for different purposes, including security, troubleshooting, compliance, and understanding of what we call the user behavior. So log analysis have different process, or they have different analysis process. Our first is data collection. Secondly, we index the data that are gathered from various sources. So the second step is data indexing. Thirdly is analysis phase, using various tools and techniques to extract meaningful insights from the log data. For this, monitoring. This is setting up continuous monitoring log of data to identify real-time security threats, while the final is reporting, creating report and visualization to communicate any security findings, any system performance, or user activity trends to any stakeholders. So we use various log analysis tools. We use Splunk, Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, Greylog. There are various tools we use for log analysis. Our second topic is vulnerability assessment. This vulnerability assessment is a systematic process of identifying, classifying, and giving priority, and also remediating weakness in any computer system, network, application, and other IT assets. So it is a crucial component of any cybersecurity program that's helping organizations to proactively address any potential security risks before they can be exploited by attackers. So there are several benefits of vulnerability assessment. First is early threat detection. Vulnerability assessment helps to identify security weakness before attacker exploits them. It's also prioritization of resources. By understanding the severity and the risk associated with the vulnerability, organization can give priority for their patching and remediation effort. Third is improved security posture. Addressing identified vulnerability strengthens an organization overall security posture, and it also reduces the attack surface. Finally, it helps compliance. Vulnerability assessment can help organizations to meet regulatory requirements that mandate security control and risk management practices. So vulnerability assessment as log analysis, they have their own steps. First is planning and scoping. This means defining the assessment, which system and application will be included in the type of vulnerability to be identified. While secondly, data gathering is collecting information about system and application under assessment, including system configuration, installed software, and network topology. Third, it's vulnerability scanning, utilizing automated vulnerability scanning tools to identify known vulnerability in a system or application. For this, manual penetration testing, in some cases, penetrating testing could be conducted to complement automated scans. So pen testing involves simulating real-world attack scenarios to identify vulnerability that automated scanners might miss. Fifth is vulnerability analysis, evaluating the identified vulnerability, assessing their severity based on several factors like exploitability and potential impact, and also giving them for remediation. Our final step is reporting, creating a report that details the identified vulnerability and their severity. So we can further go to the recommendation for the remediation steps. So there are various vulnerability assessment tools that are used to identify vulnerability within a system and application. So by using this, we can manage our vulnerability. So implementing any robust vulnerability assessment in the management program, organization can significantly improve their security posture and reduce the risk of cyber attack. So in today's agenda, we will discuss these two major topics. I will repeat it again: log analysis and vulnerability assessment. These are our major topics. Question number 1 is all about log analysis. Question number 1: security analyst identified the following suspicious entry on the host-based IDS logs or intrusion detection system. Here is a suspicious entry. So which one of the following shell script should the analyst use to most accurately confirm if the activity is ongoing? We have 4 options that are using various commands, various scripts. So from the given option, which one of the following show accurately the activity is ongoing? So let us see this in detail. Let's see about shell scripts and shell scripting concepts. So what is shell scripting and what is the purpose of shell script? Let's see shell script. What is shell? Shell is a special user program which provides an interface to user to use an operating system services. So shell accepts human readable command from the user and converts them into something which kernel can understand. So it's a command language interpreter that executes a command read from input device such as keyboard or from other kinds of files. So the shell gets started when the user logs in or starts the terminal. Linux shell is broadly can be classified into 2 major categories. First is command line shell, and the second is graphical shell. So what is the difference between command line shell and the graphical shell? Command line shell can be accessed by user using command line interface, as we can see from the picture. A special program called terminal in Linux, MacOS, or command prompt in Windows OS. So it's provided to type any human readable commands such as cat, ls, etc. Then it can be executed. The result is then displayed on the terminal to the user. This is the major concept behind the command line shell. While GUI or graphical shell are, this shell provide a means for manipulating program based on GUI, graphical user interface, by allowing for operation such as opening, closing, moving, and resizing windows, as well as switching focus between windows. Windows operating system or Ubuntu OS can be considered as a good example, which provide graphical user interface for interacting with program, so user doesn't type any command or every action. There are several kinds of shell for any operating system. Let's see the three major types of shell. The first is born again shell or bash, mostly widely used in Linux system. It's also a default login shell in Linux or Mac operating system, but also installed on Windows operating system. C shell syntax usage are very similar to C programming language, while Korn shell was also based for POSIX shell standard specification. So there are different kinds of shell or types of shell which can be implemented for scripting on several kinds of operating systems. And also there are several differences between different types of shells. For example, let's take the difference between Korn shell and the bash shell. Basically, starting from the file extension, while Korn shell is KSH, bash shell.sh, and also the path directory structure, binary size for the interpreter, command to print the message on the terminal, and also supporting loops and iterations. And also there are developer, while Korn developed by David Korn, bash shell is Pro Software Foundation's newly created shell as compared to the Korn shell. So different kinds of shell have its own properties and characteristics, and also behavior use. So in general, shell scripts usually are interactive. That means they accept command as the input from user and execute them. Sometimes we want to execute a bunch of commands originally, so we have to type in all commands each time in terminal. So shell can also command as the input from file. We can write the command in a file and can execute them in a shell to avoid any repetitive work. So this can be done using shell scripting or shell program. We will see this next by examples, since shell scripting have different purposes. And also now what is the difference between bash scripting and shell script? Bash script is a script that's specifically created for bash, while shell script is a script that can be executed in any kinds of shell. Bash scripting is a subset of shell scripting. So shell scripting is more general, that is to automate task as a collection of commands. Bash script is one form of shell script. Shell can be Korn, C shell, Korn shell, or bash, as you can see. So there are different structures and behaviors between bash scripting and shell scripting. The major thing is that bash scripting is a subset of shell scripting, since shell scripting can be Korn, C shell, Korn, or bash, like shebang constructions. The syntax of shell script: shell curl, we can use if else break, we can use control for statement if then else, and also loops commands like cd, ls, echo, password touch. So why do you need shell script? There are many reasons to write shell script. The first is to avoid repetitive work and automation. That since it helps write shell script, avoid repetitive work for admin, for backups, for system monitoring, for adding new functionality to the shell, and also there are different uses. Disadvantage and advantage of shell script: they are familiar, much quicker, quick to start, interactive debugging, while disadvantage: prone to cost errors, slow execution speed, exclude large tasks, large and complex tasks, and a minimal data structure, and also a small effect in syntax can result big error in shell scripting. What are common shell script techniques to attack? In attacking methodology, there are varieties of shell scripting. The first is uninstalling monitoring agent. Secondly, disabling firewall and interrupts. Thirdly, disabling Linux security modules or LSMS, and also modifying access control lists, changing attributes. For Q, uninstalling monitoring agent, we can install using such commands. Uninstall Nyanjing, which was the security agent from Tencent. So using the commands that are here on the picture, we can uninstall monitoring agent. We can disable firewall and interrupts, UFY, uninterrupted firewall, UFY disabling the Linux security module, LSM, disable app armor, for example, for Linux, and app armor, modifying access control list, setting permission on files and utility, set facal utility in Linux is to modify, remove the access control lists. Permission are using ch mode. And also changing attributes. Changing attribute in Linux is to set or unset certain attribute 45 or in chatter utility using command chatter. So we can make file immutable so that user cannot delete it. The final is renaming common utilities. One of the malicious script also contain common utilities like we get curl with different names. These utilities are generally used to download file from the remote IP, which are commonly, for example, in any malware attack. Every one can download using widgets command from malicious link, then executes the file on any remote computers. So this is all about shell scripting, and now we will see simple examples of how we can run shell script on a Linux operating system. So to run a bash script or Linux system, initially we have to create a bash script file. Initially we have to create a bash script file.sh. So let's create nano jira.sh. So in our terminal editor, we can write some simple bash script. Initially the structure hash, then bin bash, then echo welcome to 591 lab. Then we can save our file. So our file is here, jira.sh. So we can make this executable using ch mode commands. So our file is here. We can see it. Welcome to the 591 lab. So now we can make executable it, then we can run our shell script by using this method. So we get that welcome to 591 lab. This is a basic and a simple example how we can run shell scripting on Linux operating system. So our first question is related with automating in cybersecurity using shell scripting, like using various advanced commands like netcat and grep and also other commands, and a simple way to identify whether the process is ongoing or it's not ongoing. So we will see the question. Question number 1. A security analyst identified the following suspicious entry on the host-based IDS logs or intrusion detection system. So here is the suspicious entry bash -i and parameter dev TCP some IP address with an specified port. So which one of the following shell script should the analyst use the most accurately to confirm if the activity is? So which one of the following shell script should the analyst use to most accurately confirm if the activity is ongoing? We have given 4 choices. We have 4 choices. Among these 4 choices, which is most accurately confirm if the activity is ongoing? So we have different scripts, as we already seen the method of scripting. These all are a type of bash scripting with some advanced commands like netcat, grep, np, and also other some familiar commands. So under option A, the script attempts to establish netcat connection or NC to this IP address on a port 808 with -VV, or what this is a flag for verbose output. So in general, this means if the connection is successful and it writes the received data to the file name dev r.ull. This is likely not a valid file name. Then it prints a malicious activity. If the connection fails, it simply prints awk. So this is not the most accurate to confirm if the activity is ongoing. So you can implement this using bash script, as we have seen it already. For B, the script uses psvia to list all process and pipe the output through grep 880 to filter for any process related to this port It then writes the output to the file name dev with the extension GLL. This is not also a likely valid file name, and prints malicious activity if successful. If writing fails, so it prints awk. So it prints malicious activity if write is successful. When it fails, it prints awk. So again, this is not directly related with the activity to confirm the activity is ongoing. For C, the script is directly wants to check if the directory opt TCP this directory is existing using ls. Using this ls, so this path is unusual and may not be related with the suspicious activity. So the output is directly in this case redirected to both standard output or std out and standard error std error using this end parameter, but it's then immediately discarded to the dev / null. So it prints malicious activity if the directory exists, or it prints awk if the directory is not exist. So again, this not most accurate to confirm if the activity is ongoing. So the suitable and the correct answer is D. D is the correct answer. Why? The script uses netstat and p. This script netstat and p is to list all the network connection and pipes the output through grep through this port, or this is port 80 sorry p, this is port 8080 to look that is activity related with the port 8080 in listening of what we call is that listen state. So the output is redirected to dev null to discard any potential information leakage. It prints malicious activity if it's listening on port 880 is found, and awk if none is found or there is nothing. So the most suitable script for this scenario is D. This is the most suitable scenario, since it directly checks for the listening process, specifically focus on finding process listening on port 8080 which align with suspicious activity in IDS or intrusion detection system logs or potential connection prompt. It also minimizes information leakage, since the output is directly to dev null to prevent any sensitive information about active connection from being revealed in the log. So the output is also clear output. It provides clear message. It means malicious activity if the listening process is found, and awk if not. So making output easy to interpret. While scripting A and B, as we have already seen, they attempt to establish connection or check for a file. They either use inappropriate method or don't directly match the suspicious activity in the log. Also, the script in C checks for unusual directory paths not directly related to the network connection. Therefore, option D is most effective script to determine if suspicious activity is involving potential connection to this IP address on this port on the going host. So the correct and suitable and most appropriate command or shell script is D. Okay, this is all about question number 1. Question number 2. While reviewing a web server log, a security analyst found the following line: image source, VB script, message box, then information or the quoted test. Which one of the following malicious activity was attempted? A. Command injection. B. XML injection. D. Server-side request forgery. D. cross-site scripting. The question number 2 is the most simplest question, since everyone can understand this script or this message or this code, because this is most related with cross-site scripting attack or XXX attack. So the most possible answer is cross-site scripting attack. So let's see this in detail. Since the code IMG source VB script message box test attempts to inject malicious code or VB script in this case into an image source attribute. This is a classic example of cross-site scripting attack. So what is the major functionality? What is the major functionality of this script? So when user browser encounters this code, it tries to execute the VB script, which will display the message box with the text test. This demonstrates the ability of cross-site scripting attack to inject and execute any arbitrary code within the user browser. So by specifying some IP address using verb dispute community edition, you can try this many specified and legal IP host or targets. So this is cross-site the best example for cross-site scripting attack. While command injection, this typically involve exploiting vulnerability in web application to allow unauthorized execution of system command on the server. So this provided code doesn't directly interact with the server side environment. It's not directly related. XML injection, this involve injecting malicious code into XML data processed by the server. So the provided code doesn't involve any XML element or processing. So this cannot be the answer. While server-side request forgery it involves manipulating a user web session to perform unauthorized action on the server. So the provided code does directly target the client or the user browser, so doesn't interact with the server in a way that could forge any request. So considering the code attempting to inject and execute script within the user browser, cross-site scripting is the most appropriate answer. So cross-site scripting is the most appropriate. So how this cross-site works: since an attacker wants to inject malicious code into web applications. This could be through a form of field, comment section, or any other input mechanism that the application that doesn't properly sanitize, so in order to avoid cross-site scripting. So the input should be sanitized successfully. So from this, the source or the injecting script, the attacker injects cross-site script into vulnerable field. In this example, the script disguised with an image source attribute. Using image source attributes, then a user visits the page. When user visits the compromised page, the browser encounters the injected script. Then the script is executed. The browser interprets the script as a valid code with the context of any vulnerable website and executes it. Finally, the attacker gains control. The malicious script can now interact with the web page and the user browser environment. So this is the main steps in which cross-site scripting attack is performed. So the correct answer should be cross-site scripting attack. Question number 3. An analyst has received an intrusion prevention system event notification from the Security Information and Event Management System, stating an IP address which is known to be malicious has attempted to exploit a zero-day vulnerability on several web servers. The exploit contains the following snippet: a WP JSON track add-on v2 get sets layout, which equivalent with WP insert user, and the role is equivalent to administrator. So which one of the following control would work the best to mitigate the attack represented by this snippet? A. Limit user creation to administrator only. B. Limit layout creation to administrator only. C. Set the directory tracks add-on to read only for all user. D. Set the directory v2 to read only for all user. This is something that's related with zero-day vulnerability. Since an analyst has received an IPS event notification from SIEM stating that known malicious IP address has attempted to exploit a zero-day vulnerability on several web servers, the exploit contained, as we know, this snippet. So while multiple control options might seem relevant at first glance among these 4 choices, the most effective approach to mitigate this zero-day vulnerability is A, or that is limiting the user creation to the administrator only. The best choice is A. Why is the most appropriate answer? Here is the reason. A, because attack intent, the exploit aims to leverage a zero-day vulnerability within this Tribes add-on. This plugin, this is directly associated with WordPress plugin or theme. The snippet attempts to access the WP JSON endpoint, which often provide programmatic access to WordPress functionality. As we know, there are various kinds of content management system like Joomla, WordPress, and Odoo, and some other content management system. Among these, the most widely used and famous were the WordPress or WP content management system. So the snip given was attempting to access the WP JSON. Since this endpoint provides programmatic access to WordPress functionality to create a new user with the role of administrator, which is given the role which equivalent with administrator. So the control effective, since by restricting user creation to administrator only, we will prevent an unauthorized user, including potential attacker, from exploiting the vulnerability to create a new account, even if it allows some level of interaction. So this significantly reduces the attack surface or potential damage. So the best choice is limiting user creation to administrator only, because it allows a controlling effectiveness. By restricting a user creation to administrator only, anyone can prevent any unauthorized user, including potential attacker, from exploiting the vulnerability to create a new account, even if it allows some level of interaction. So this significantly reduces the attack surface and the potential damage. While B, limiting layout creation to administrator only could not be the answer, because this could be a security measure, but it wouldn't directly address the vulnerability. If it allows arbitrary code execution or any unauthorized access to any system resource, so it doesn't address the vulnerability. While C, setting the directory tracks add-on to read only for all users, this control may seem appealing, but it could potentially break legitimate plugin or theme functionality if they require to write access to that directory. Striking the right balance between security and functionality is so crucial. So this cannot be the answer. While D sets the directory v2 to read only for all user. Similar to option C, setting v2 to read only might not be the most effective approach, because the vulnerability likely reside within tracks add-on, not separate v2 directory. So additionally, to prevent or to mitigate this, we have to do patching the vulnerability, since the ultimate long-term solution is to patch the zero-day vulnerability as soon as the patch become available from WordPress plugin or theme vendor, since this eliminates the vulnerability itself. Secondly, using WAF or web application firewall. If you have a WAF in a place, consider updating its rules to identify and block similar exploit attempt targeting WP JSON or WordPress JSON endpoint or the tracks add-on directory, since WAF offers an additional layer of security. Additionally, monitoring and logging should be considered as a solution, since it maintains close monitoring of logs and security alerts to identify any further attempt or successful exploitation of vulnerability. Early detection and response are very essential. In general, limiting user creation to administrator provide a strong first line of defense against attack like this one, where the attacker goal is to gain administrator privilege, while implementing a layered security approach that combines access control, patching, WAF, and monitoring ensure comprehensive protection against zero-day vulnerability. So working diligently to keep WordPress plugin and themes up to date to minimize window of vulnerability. So it should be updated as soon as they get update from the vendor. So the correct answer is the A, limit user creation to administrator only. Question number 4 is about vulnerability assessment. A company has decided to expose several systems to the internet. The systems are currently available internally only. A security analyst is using subset of common vulnerability scoring system 3.1 exploitability metrics to prioritize the vulnerability that would be the most exploitable when the systems are exposed to the internet. The system and vulnerability are shown below. We have here a system plain, brown, Sullivan, and gray. There are vulnerability names like snake door, cold breeze, red cap, and Betty blue. There is an attack vector, network, local, physical, and network. Attack complexity, low, high, and availability is here. So we have given some parameters or indicators. So which one of the following systems should be prioritized for patching? A, brown, B, gray, C, plain, D, Sullivan. Initially, as cyber security analysts, our primary concern is understanding how easily an attacker can exploit this vulnerability once the systems are online. This is where the common vulnerability scoring system exploitability metrics come into play. They assess the inherent characteristics of vulnerability itself, independent of any other environmental variables. So, by looking through the metrics in the context given, initially we have an attack vector. This matrix, the attack vector, indicate the starting point for an attacker to exploit the vulnerability. So this is the starting point for the attacker to exploit the vulnerability that is in our system. So for a brown, or this brown, it requires local access, which might be harder for remote attacker to obtain compared to network access, while for plain it's only require network access, making it easier for remote attacker, while for Sullivan require physical access, that is most difficult for remote attacker. For gray and the plain, it requires network access, so it makes easier for remote attacker. Network, local, and physical access are significantly one of the criteria of attack vector. So network access is it is what we call is that easier for remote attacker to achieve. They can leverage various techniques to gain access to network, such as exploiting other network vulnerabilities, social engineering tactics, or brute force attacks, while local access typically require physical presence or compromised credential onto the system itself, while physical access is most challenging scenario for remote attacker. So given priority based on exploitability, since both gray and plain have network access, they are most what we call that affected to remote exploitation compared to brown local access or Sullivan physical access. So when we face any kind of situation like this to network access vulnerability, we need to consider any additional information available. So our attack vector for plain and the gray are the same, that's network. So we have two common attack vectors that should be given priority. So now let us turn our attention into attack complexity and their availability. But initially, the table doesn't provide detail on privilege required or PR, and also user interaction UI metrics, because they are the most simpler way to decide for the priority, since privilege required indicate the level of access, like any user or administration needed to exploit vulnerability. Lower privilege are easier for attacker to obtain, while user interaction indicate if user interaction is required, like clicking malicious link or any successful exploitation without any user interaction, since the vulnerability is more critical. So making an informed decision between plain and gray is required here. So we can prioritize based on attack vector alone. Since plain and gray have the same AV, it's difficult to definitely say which patch first, which we should patch initially or at first. However, some vulnerability database may offer additional detail about exploitability or historical exploit attempt, which could help us to get or to make an informed decision. While we're looking at the complexity, for plain attack complexity is low, so that means it's simple to attack, while for gray attack complexity is high, so plain should be the more critical here. Since availability is high and access attack complexity is low, so everyone can implement the exploit. So the correct answer should be the plain. The correct answer should be the plain. Since plain has more accessible attack vector network, it becomes the most critical system to patch first before exposing the system to the internet. So the correct answer is plain. So it's better to decide or to make an informed decision as a cyber security analyst. So this is all about our today's discussion. Thank you very much. Generally, this all about today. Thank you for your participation in today's class at 591 Lab. We trust that you found the material both informative and beneficial. Mastery of any new skill requires consistent practice, so we encourage you to revisit the course content and continue practicing with the assistance of 591 Lab support. Should you have any questions or concern, please feel free to reach out to us. Active involvement is greatly appreciated, and we eagerly anticipate your presence in our upcoming class. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead.